Hello again. We're going to go ahead and learn a bit more about JavaScript. This time we're going to be learning about functions. Okay, so if you're going to be, the functions are useful if you're going to be doing certain thing several times. So instead of repeating the same commands that you're going to do, what you can do is just put them in a function and then you'd call that function. Okay, so it's just a block of code and you just say, yeah, I want that block of code to execute. Well, you just say, okay, go, do it. And it'll do all of that stuff that's already defined there. You don't have to repeat continuously the same things, especially if you want to do that same thing several times. So how do we define a function in JavaScript? Well, first, let's make up something what we want to do. We want to be able to add two numbers together and then multiply them, for example. So how would we do that? Would define a variable, the first number. Okay, let's see, say it's number 1, x, and then we've got a y. Okay, and then say, let me reload because I've already had some JavaScript in this. So const x equals 1, const y equals, say, 2, and so we've got an x, y, and a z, which is what we're going to use to multiply with, say, 3. Okay, so how would we do that? We can just say x plus y, and if we want everything to be multiplied, we'll put brackets around it. And in JavaScript and a lot of programming languages, we use the asterisk to multiply. That'd be the multiplication sign. So we multiply by z. Okay, press enter, and it gives us our answer. Okay, but what if we wanted, to do this operation like a heap of times, but with different values? For that, a function is a good solution. How do we define a function? Well, we can say function writing function. And then we write the name of our function. Okay, add, we'll call it add and multiply. We can call it whatever we like, of course. And in our function, we want to have an x, a y, and a z. So these are the things that we're going to receive. We need those variables already defined, but we don't care what value they actually have. That's the beauty of it. So in the content of our function, we're going to open those curly brackets, and inside, well, we've got another statement which is going to be the return. So this is what it's going to give. The result we're going to send back is going to be x, what we had before, x plus y. Put that in the brackets around it so the multiplication applies to everything, and z multiplied by z. Okay, press enter, and we want to close now our curly brackets. There we go, we've got our function is now defined. So how do we use it? Well, to use it, we can put add and multiply. Just call it like that. Now we open the parentheses, and you can see here with this, it knows it's expecting an x, y, and z parameters, they're called, or arguments, that we pass into our function for it to be able to do the operation on. So we'll put, well, the same values as before, just for the example, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now if we press enter, it gives us 9 again. So what it's doing is it looks for this function, it finds this function that's the defined, and when we call it this way, it basically just passes in 1 in the place of x, 2 for the value of y, and 3 for the value of z, and then it's executing this code, and it's giving us the result. So another thing we could do is define another variable, result, and say add and multiply. And we could say 2, 3, and 4 this time. Now we're assigning what comes out of here, what is returned by the function, and we're putting that into the variable result. And we can print it out like that. So we've got 20 is the result. Okay, well that's basically what our function does. If we wanted a bit more complicated, well, another form of defining it would be, we could put it like this and then say, oh, it's a bit difficult because it's already defined, but say add and multiply 2, and we have our x, y, and z, and we could do a heap of stuff here, not only a return statement. So we could have when they're added together, x plus y. Okay, and then next line we could have a multiplied variable, which would be the added multiplied by the z, and now we could return the multiplied. Multiplied now would have the result of the added part and now the multiplied part, and we would return that, close the curly brackets, and it should work the same way. So we've got another result is equal to add and multiply 2, and we could put in here 4, 5, 6, press enter. Multiplied is not defined because I haven't spelt it right. Multiplied, multiplied, right? So that was my error. I have to go back. Hang on, see if I can find it here. Go back, multiplied. Okay, press enter. Now let's try again. Result 2. There we go. It's working again. Okay, so we've learned about functions now, and a bit about what we could do with a simple function. From here on in, well, we can make a heavier use of functions, or we can use them when we see fit. We also know about variables, so the thing is, start getting stuff into practice, and that's the way really we can grasp the idea of how this all comes together. So in the next video, we'll go back to our game and we'll start getting some of our functionality working. Okay, we still need know about some other stuff about how we can access these elements in the HTML that we've defined in the HTML, but it's not that hard at all, so I'll show you how we're going to be able to do that along the way. So in the next video, we'll see you soon, and to be able to see some more and to be able to do a lot of more other interesting things for our game. Good. See you then.